Beneath the sands of time, history sleeps. Or so we thought. For centuries, we trusted the story of human progress. Simple beginnings, slow discovery, a climb from darkness into light. But then, one by one, the treasures appeared. A slab of stone that spoke forgotten languages, a machine that shouldn't exist, scrolls that told a version of history no one wanted to believe. Each find cracked the mirror of the past and revealed something deeper, older, and far more mysterious. These are the ancient treasures that changed everything, the artifacts that didn't just tell history, they rewrote it. And the first clue came from a stone buried in Egypt's sands, one that taught the modern world how to read the voices of the ancient dead. But how could a single piece of rock bring lost civilizations back to life? It began with a war, not of kings, but of empires. In 1799, a French soldier digging near the Egyptian town of Rosetta struck something buried deep beneath the sand. It wasn't gold, or jewels, or a tomb. It was a slab of dark stone, covered in strange carved symbols. No one could read them, not yet. But this single stone would open the voices of a civilization that had been silent for over 2,000 years. 3 scripts, 1 message, Greek, Demotic, and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, all telling the same story. For centuries, scholars stared at Egypt's walls, unable to understand their language. The Rosetta Stone became the key, the first true translation between the ancient and modern worlds. With it, the secrets of the pharaohs rose again. The dead could speak, and history listened, but unlocking language was only the beginning, because soon we would uncover texts that didn't just rewrite history, they challenged it. Hidden in the caves of a desert long forgotten, a set of scrolls would emerge, telling stories that many believed should never have survived. The year was 1947. A young Bedouin shepherd, chasing a lost goat through the cliffs of Qumran, threw a stone into a dark cave and heard the sound of something shatter. What he found inside would shake the foundations of faith and history alike. Hidden in jars were ancient scrolls, over 2,000 years old. Their fragile parchment whispered the oldest known versions of biblical texts, and writings no one had ever seen before. Who wrote them? Why were they hidden? Some believed they belonged to a secret Jewish sect preparing for the world's end. Others said they were evidence of early Christian roots buried in the sands. These scrolls connected humanity to the dawn of recorded belief, to the time when myth and history blurred. But even as scholars translated their words, one mystery remained. What else lay buried in the caves of time? In 1974, a farmer digging a well near Xi'an, China, struck something harder than soil. At first, he thought it was a statue, but as archaeologists arrived, they realized it wasn't just one. It was thousands, an entire army, standing in perfect formation, buried underground for over 2,000 years, each soldier carved by hand, each face unique. They were built to protect the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, in the afterlife, a man who united a nation, but feared death more than any enemy. The terracotta army wasn't just a tomb, it was a kingdom beneath the earth. Chariots, horses, archers, generals, all frozen in eternal service. And still, the emperor himself remains hidden. His actual tomb lies sealed, untouched, surrounded by rivers of liquid mercury, according to ancient texts. Some say opening it could unleash curses. Others believe it holds technology or knowledge far beyond its time. But one truth is clear: the emperor's greatest secret remains buried. Yet across the ocean, another civilization would leave behind gold so pure it would challenge everything we thought we knew about ancient power. Deep in the heart of South America, explorers chased a whisper, a legend of a city made entirely of gold. They called it El Dorado. The tale began with Spanish conquistadors hearing stories of a golden king who covered himself in dust each morning, then washed it away in sacred lakes. But greed twisted the myth. Soon, they weren't just searching for a man. They were hunting for an empire, Thousands perished in the jungles, swallowed by rivers, disease, and madness. Every mountain looked like a promise, every shadow a lie. For centuries, no one found it. But modern discoveries, golden artifacts buried deep in Colombia and Ecuador, hint that El Dorado might not have been a single city at all, but a civilization lost beneath the jungle. And maybe, just maybe, it's still there, hidden under centuries of vines and silence. Because sometimes, legends aren't born from fantasy, they're buried under time. But while explorers searched for gold, others stumbled upon something far stranger, a discovery that revealed ancient science beyond imagination. In 1901, deep below the waters off a small Greek island called Antikythera, divers searching for treasure found something extraordinary, a corroded lump of bronze gears fused together by centuries of salt and time. At first, they thought it was just another artifact, but when scientists cleaned it, they realized what they were holding shouldn't exist. It was a machine, built over 2,000 years ago. Dozens of bronze gears meshed with perfect precision, capable of tracking the movements of the sun, the moon, and the planets. It even predicted eclipses. This wasn't just ancient craftsmanship, it was advanced engineering, centuries ahead of its time. Some call it the world's first computer. But who built it? And how did they know so much about celestial mechanics before the birth of modern science? The Antikythera Mechanism rewrote our understanding of ancient technology, forcing us to question everything we thought we knew about human progress. Because sometimes, the future isn't invented, it's rediscovered. But while this machine revealed the genius of the ancients, another discovery would expose their hidden fears, and a world buried in sudden silence. It was just another morning in the Roman Empire. Markets opened, children played, the sky was clear. But then, the mountain woke. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted with the force of 100,000 atomic bombs. Fire, ash, and molten rock rained down upon the city of Pompeii, a city that never had a chance to run. Within hours, life froze. People, homes, pets, all entombed beneath the ash, perfectly preserved in their final moments. For nearly 1,700 years, Pompeii slept in silence, until one day, the earth gave up its secret. When archaeologists uncovered the city, they found streets untouched by time, frescoes still bright, loaves of bread still in ovens, and the haunting shapes of people, frozen mid-breath. It was more than a tragedy. It was a time capsule, a moment of life and death, suspended forever. And as the dust settled, history whispered one question: how many more cities lie hidden beneath our feet, waiting for the day they can speak again? But while Pompeii revealed the fragility of life, another lost world would show the strength of civilization, a city of stone that defied both time and explanation. High in the Andes, where clouds kiss the peaks and silence rules the air, lies a city built by hands that seem to touch the heavens, Machu Picchu. Hidden for centuries, untouched by conquest, this Incan citadel wasn't discovered by the outside world until 1911, when explorer Hiram Bingham stumbled upon its terraces rising from the mist. Perfectly cut stones fit so tightly together that not even a blade of grass could slip between them. Temples aligned with the solstice, walls built to move with earthquakes rather than fall to them. No mortar, no iron, no written plans. How did they do it? Some say divine geometry, others knowledge passed down from forgotten civilizations. But perhaps the real secret lies in harmony, a people who built not against nature, but with it. Machu Picchu stands not just as a monument of stone, but as a message that human ingenuity, when united with the earth, can outlive empires. Yet, far to the east, another empire vanished, leaving behind ruins so massive and mysterious that even today, no one truly knows who built them. In the ancient city of Baalbek, Lebanon, lie stones so massive, so impossibly precise, that they defy logic itself. The largest of them, the stone of the pregnant woman, weighs more than 1,000 tons. That's heavier than a space shuttle. Yet somehow, Over 2,000 years ago, ancient builders quarried, cut, and positioned these colossal blocks with a precision modern cranes can barely match. The question is, how? Historians say Baalbek was once a grand Roman temple dedicated to Jupiter, but beneath the Roman layers are far older stones, foundations that may predate recorded history itself. No written record explains how they were moved. No known tools could have lifted them. Some suggest forgotten technology. Others, ancient engineering genius lost to time. But whatever the truth, the stones of Baalbek remain silent, standing as the ultimate proof that the ancient world knew far more than we dare to admit. They do not speak. They simply exist, daring us to explain them. But while Baalbek challenges the limits of human strength, another discovery would challenge the limits of human understanding. A story written in gold, buried in the sands of time. In 1922, beneath the shifting sands of Egypt's Valley of the Kings, British archaeologist Howard Carter found what many believed no longer existed, an untouched pharaoh's tomb. As he peered through a small hole by candlelight, he was asked, "Can you see anything?" Carter whispered, "Yes, wonderful things." Inside lay treasures beyond imagination, gold chariots, jeweled masks, and the mummified remains of a boy who became king at just 9 years old, Tutankhamun. But wonder soon turned to fear. Weeks after the tomb was opened, strange deaths followed. Lord Carnarvon, Carter's patron, died suddenly from a mysterious infection. Newspapers called it the curse of the pharaohs. Coincidence or something more? Scientists blame bacteria sealed inside the tomb. Others whisper of ancient warnings meant to guard the dead. Whatever the truth, Tutankhamun's tomb reminded the world that the past doesn't always stay buried, and that sometimes history reaches out to touch those who dare disturb it. But Egypt's sands hold more than curses. Deep within the desert lies one final secret, a discovery that forces us to rethink everything we know about time, maps, and the ancient world itself. In 1513, an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis unrolled a map unlike any the world had ever seen. It showed Europe, Africa, and the Americas, decades before most explorers had even charted them. But that wasn't the strangest part. At the bottom of the map was a coastline, a frozen continent with mountains and bays drawn in perfect detail, Antarctica. Except Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1818. So how did Piri Reis draw it 300 years earlier? He claimed he copied it from older charts, maps passed down through ancient seafarers. But who were they? Some believe they were remnants of a forgotten civilization, one that sailed the world before recorded history. Others suggest extraterrestrial knowledge, passed through time. The parchment still exists, locked away in Istanbul. Scientists verify its accuracy. Historians argue over its origin. Yet the question remains, how could someone in the 1500s map what lay hidden beneath miles of Antarctic ice? Maybe we didn't rewrite history after all. Maybe history's been writing us. These treasures, from stone to scroll, from gold to gear, aren't just relics. They're messages. Each one whispers the same haunting truth. The past isn't finished speaking. Every artifact, every buried city, every forgotten map, they don't just tell us what humanity once was. They hint at what we've forgotten. And if these are the discoveries we've found, imagine the ones still buried beneath our feet, waiting to rewrite everything again. Because sometimes history doesn't repeat itself, it waits.